So Nintendo has finally come out and officially spoken about the next Nintendo console, which we've just been calling the Nintendo Switch 2. We don't know what it's going to be called yet. They haven't mentioned the name, but they have talked about it, spoken about it, and they've also spoken about the next Nintendo Direct. So we're going to be talking about that here in this video. If you do enjoy this one, be sure to smash that like button. It really helps the channel. If you don't like it, that's completely fine. Let me know what you don't like so I can improve the content in future, and be sure to subscribe for more Nintendo content, because of course, Lord willing, all goes as planned. When we get anything else announced, further announced, when we do, I'll let you guys know here on the channel. We'll, Lord willing, be unboxing this new, Nintendo console whenever it comes out, and covering all that stuff, reactions, guides, walkthroughs, news. You got it. You name it, we got it here on the channel. All right, let's throw it up on the screen. This is coming from the official Japanese Nintendo Twitter, Nintendo Co. Ltd. They have an English version and a Japanese version as well. So this is the English version that they posted themselves. It's not a translation. They posted this themselves. It says, this is Furukawa. I always mispronounce his name. I'm sorry. President of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. And I'll explain, if you don't know what when the fiscal year ends. I'll explain that in a second. It will have been over 9 years. Yes, it's been that long since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June, called it, regarding the Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024. But please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation. End quote. Okay, I'm really excited about this, but let's kind of pick this apart, explain some of the nuance and what you guys can expect from, of course, the Nintendo Direct as well, and how this is going to probably play out. And again, you got to understand, a little of this is speculation, but a little of this is speculation based on, patterns of Nintendo in the past. So I'm not just kind of, spitballing, out of thin air. There's, reason to say what I'm about to say. So first things first, when does the fiscal year end? Well, you might be a little bit disappointed to hear. So the fiscal year ends March 2025. So basically, they're just announcing that they're going to announce the Nintendo Switch successor by March 2025. Now, do I think it's going to be March 2025? No, I think it's probably going to be very similar, just based on the timeline. I think it's going to be very, very, very similar to how the Nintendo Switch was. So, for example, the Nintendo Switch, what happened is they officially revealed it in October. They had the very first trailer, which I've been throwing up on screen a lot throughout these videos, and you're probably going to be seeing that trailer again in this video, because it's, we don't have any footage of the Nintendo Switch successor, so I got to throw something up. So we're probably going to be getting something like that, October, and then maybe release it by March 2025. They might go with the same timeline as they did previously. The fact that they mentioned they are not revealing, or they're not going to be even mentioning the Nintendo Switch successor in June, proves that the console's probably almost definitely not coming out this year, unless they have a very short window. But usually they like to have a few months. If it's October, that gives them what, like November, December, January, February, 4 or 5 months, give or take. Now, I mean, they could still kind of pull that off. If they do something, maybe like, June they got the Nintendo Switch, or sorry, June they got the normal Direct, maybe August, September, October, November, maybe a December release, but I really doubt it. I really doubt they're going to do that. I honestly think it's going to be very similar to the Nintendo Switch. It worked for them last time, and so why not do it again this time? So again, we're going to be getting some announcement sometime before March 2025 on whatever this Nintendo Switch successor is, but it's nice to hear that they finally announced and mentioned it, at least, right? It's not a lot, but it's something. Now, in terms of the the next Nintendo Direct, right? It's going to be happening in June. That was kind of obvious. I said earlier, I called it. I mean, it's pretty obvious. They almost always have a Nintendo Switch Direct, a Nintendo Direct in June. What can you expect from this? I like I said, I mentioned this in a different video. I'm not going to go too much in this video, but I'll quickly kind of reiterate it. I think Metroid Prime 2 Remastered is very likely. I think at this point, Metroid Prime 4 is probably something we can see release with the Nintendo Switch successor. If not launch date, maybe launch window for the next Nintendo console. So I think they're probably going to want to get Metroid Prime, 2 Remaster and 3 Remaster out before then. And so I think it's likely we're going to get the second game. Maybe it's a shadow drop in June where they're like, hey, it's out now. You know, kind of like how they did it with the first remaster. I think it's well overdue to have a Donkey Kong game announced. That said, at this point, do they release it on the Nintendo Switch, or do they hold off to have a stronger lineup with the Nintendo successor? Chances are they hold off, but you know, anything's possible. I think, honestly, one of the things that is likely to be announced is, well, first of all, there was a leak recently that I forgot to cover on, I think it was Nintendo Champions. You know, it's a game from way back in the day that there's going to be a new iteration of that. So that's probably one of the games that they'll announce. But I also think there's also the long-awaited ports for, you know, the Legend of Zelda it's not Skyward Sword, excuse me, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Do we get that double pack that has been rumored? Do we get one or the other? Do we get both as, you know, separate packs, separate games? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I really hope we get something. We've had something Zelda every single year since the Switch came out. Something. Even Hyrule Warriors accounts. We've had some kind of Zelda game every single year, so I'd be very surprised if they don't do that again this year. But again, the question is, do they just wait for the Nintendo Switch successor? Now, if the Nintendo Switch successor is backwards compatible, then, you know, it makes sense. You know, it wouldn't be completely pointless to release that right now, because you can still play them on the Nintendo Switch successor as well. So that could happen. I mean, you know, Twilight Princess HD came out towards the very kind of tail end of the Wii U, the Wii U's life cycle, so it could happen. I kind of hope it does, because we, you know, just to kind of, you know, hold us off until the Nintendo Switch successor. But any kind of big game, new 3D Mario, I mean, they only usually release one actual big 3D Mario game per Nintendo console, so that's probably going to be a launch title with the next Nintendo console, so you're probably not going to see that. So my bet is at least Metroid Prime 2 remastered, maybe a new Donkey Kong game, maybe that the rumored, you know, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD ports, and that Nintendo Champions game or whatever. That's the best I can kind of come up with in this moment. But if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and let me know what you guys think of you know, this whole announcement. What do you hope to see from this next Nintendo console? Obviously, the big thing I think a lot of us want to see is backwards compatibility, and for me personally, I want to see a little bit more of a powerful console. I like Nintendo doing their innovative stuff. You know, I'm not expecting them to be on par with the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but I'd like to see them have a console that can at least, you know, hold its ground a little bit longer, right? Because like I said before, you know, I played a lot of Monster Hunter Rise, for example, on the Nintendo Switch, and it just didn't hold down. It would chug a little bit, man. You know, it's so I would like to see something that would just be able to provide a little bit more power, and that can last the 8 or 9 years that they plan to kind of, you know, support that console as well. So I don't know, we'll see how things go, but let me know what you guys think, and stick around for more. Until next one, game on. See you guys soon.